Hello, ladies and gents. Yeah, so things popped off. Iran launched a lot of ballistic, I'm guessing ballistic because what else could it be? Ballistic missiles on UAE. Some of them got through, basically implying now it's properly ceasefire is ended. That's what it implies. So things have started. US is engaging as well, as far as I know. This title says it all. US Apache annihilated Iran's Mosquito fleet. So like, like that, when you play Call of Duty and you just like have to get through the horde of people, that's what US is doing now. The, horde of these small boats come and Apache is like, oh, I guess I'm putting in time now, one after another destroying all of them. Because there is no back and forth. It's just one-sided thing. Doesn't matter how much they put on social media, like we destroyed Abraham Lincoln again. I don't know how many times Abraham Lincoln's gonna get destroyed, but apparently they are. Keep doing that somehow. And yeah, now things have popped out. I'm sure they're gonna threaten it more while US just keep destroying things. Obviously, they have some leverage. If they don't give up, and if they just stay there, their willingness to fight alone is a threat. Because anyone with any missile or even a man-pad can get out of a cave and attack something or launch ballistic missile on UAE. That threatens the Strait of Hormuz, kind of stops the whole economy there. Threats going to stay there. So they can always threaten, which has been happening for past 2-3 months. I don't know how long this is going to go, but I guess we are back to destroying things. Apache, I guess, engaged. Let's go this one. Obviously, this is by the channel Max Afterburner.
It's May 5th, 2026, and if you were anywhere near the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, you witnessed something that hasn't happened in decades. U.S. Army...
Yeah, I was about to go there, but then I took a left. I almost made it through, but I took a left.
Apache attack helicopters, U.S. Navy Seahawks operating together in one of the world's most contested waterways, rolling in hot and making a very clear statement to the IRGC. Iran's leadership right now...
Is it just me? He just showed the image of like that helicopter hovering there. Like, nope, I don't want to see that.
Now, whoever that may be is telling the world, and I want you to hear exactly how they're framing this.
The hell was that?
That may be
Is it going diving down? Can helicopters do that? What is this?
Telling the world, and I want you to hear exactly how they're framing this, that their fast boat operations were defensive sovereignty measures, that U.S. actions in the Strait amount to aggression that threatens regional stability. Interesting. And that in their words, we are just getting started. Parliament speakers and IRGC-linked figures in Iran are vowing stronger strategic deterrence and asymmetric responses if the U.S. continues what they're calling adventurism in Iranian waters. Actually, they're just opening up an international waterway and destroying your extortion of the world. But yeah, we can call it adventurism if that makes you feel a little bit.
All you Americans have 30 days to run away. Otherwise, Iran will do something that they somehow didn't do in past 2 months.
Bit better. But let's talk about what actually happened, because here's the wild thing. While Tehran was drafting those press releases, U.S. Army AH-64 Apache attack helicopters and U.S. Navy MH-60 Seahawk helicopters were already wheels up, already on station and ready to prosecute targets. 6 Iranian fast...
This is the like GTA 5 meme. Ah, shit, here we go again.
Attack boats, the core of what military analysts call Iran's Mosquito fleet. That's the official term at this point, and I kind of like it. They went into the water on May 4th. None of them came back. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper confirmed the strikes directly. His assessment: Iran typically deploys 20 to 40 of these fast attack boats in a harassment swarm, and that's exactly what I saw as I was studying Iran in back vaults for the U.S. military. This time, though, only 6 showed up, and within minutes of contact, all 6 gone, just like that. Meanwhile, 2 U.S. Navy Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers, the USS Truxtun and USS Mason, completed a Hormuz transit under air cover along with 2 commercial ships, is what we're hearing this morning, absorbing a full Iranian barrage of missiles.
So 2 destroyers like, I don't care now. I don't care. This is happening. Just went inside the Strait of Hormuz with like obviously air, some planes hovering there. And like, yeah, there you go. I'm escorting this. Destroyers are here. What you got? What you going to do? Come here. They literally did that. Like, we have Aegis system. Come at me, bro.
Missiles, drones, and boat attacks. That was yesterday when Operation Project Freedom first started, but as of today, 2 commercial vessels confirmed having gone through with U.S. flags. Every threat, though, that came at those destroyers was intercepted. Not a scratch on either of their hull.
No shit.
President Trump posted on Truth Social, and he put it simply, it's all they have left. Speaking of the Mosquito fleet, this is American sea power at work, and the coming hours will likely reshape this entire standoff. And then this is pretty.
You know what US military should say, or Trump should say every time somebody like, did you intercept those things? He should just like, this is insulting now. What do you mean, did you intercept them? I'm not fighting China that we're going to have back and forth. Of course I intercepted Iranian things. What are we even talking about here? You know why I'm getting pissed off? There are genuine amount of people on the internet literally believes that Iranians are somehow winning and dominating USA. How do you believe that? Like, does that even make sense to you? This is literally like some 10th grader or like some geeks went into a gym where all the bodybuilders are and somehow are beating the bodybuilders. Okay, having muscles are not the indication of being stronger, but like the disparity is insanely big. Like, this is a clear sign of like, no, geeks are not beating bodybuilders. What are you talking about? How do you believe that?
Pretty funny. So Al Jazeera, as they do, they give us great content. They said Iran says U.S. military killed 5 civilians in attacks on passenger boats. Yeah, they were just passenger boats. It was just the Iranian people going out to take a look at the U.S. destroyers. Oh, are those Apache helicopters up overhead? We haven't been to an air show in a while. Let's go check these out. I mean, the IRGC, the fact that they're putting out stuff like this and that Al Jazeera puts that front and center, I think that kind of shows us where Al Jazeera leans just a little bit. And
if a tank is coming near you and if you run towards a tank will shoot you down, even if you're a civilian. What I mean is, it's a US destroyer. There are warnings around it. Don't come close, doesn't matter who you are. And if you do come close, doesn't matter at that point if you're a civilian, you're getting shot down. Why am I saying this? I'm not going to have back and forth, whether they're civilian, whether they're not. Believe what you want. You don't come close to a US destroyer. That's a thing you don't do. This is like saying I'm a civilian and I stormed the Capitol or like went inside a Supreme Court. Yeah, you're going to get shot. You don't just do that, right? You don't go like close to a destroyer. That's not some picnic area, right? There are warnings. Don't come close. Radio, you're coming close. Like that, I'm pretty sure there were some warning signs. Even though if US destroyers know that these are Iranian ships coming towards me, they're still going to follow protocols and warn them, like, don't come close, don't come close. And then there you go. No longer a boat is no longer there. So even at that point, even if you're civilians, you should have turned back.
And then this video was from yesterday at the beginning of Operation Project Freedom. Iran's basically thrashing, trying to do everything they can to still cause chaos with whatever they have left. But it looks like one of their drones did get through and hit energy industry in the UAE. But a lot of those were taken down. We're going to get into all of that.
Not one of them. I'm pretty sure multiple of them got through. But like so many was like launched. And it's not so easy to intercept them because UAE is just there. When Iran launches, there's not much of a time. So even with the best of the defenses, some will probably get through. It's just geography at that point.
Throughout this video. And this was President Trump's post on Truth Social. He said Iran has taken some shots at unrelated nations with respect to the ship's movement. Project Freedom, including a South Korean cargo ship. Perhaps it's time for South Korea to come and join the mission. We've shot down 7 small boats.
Bring in Samsung. There you go. Come with your Rams and your tanks. Samsung is the only ridiculous company on the planet who have their own tanks, helicopters, mini army, even cars. Why not? What doesn't Samsung have at this point? Seriously. You know those ridiculous movies where some very rich guy opens a company and owns everything? It's like a Tony Stark level thing. Samsung might be that because they have hands in everything. They even have their small army as far as I know.
or as they like to call them, fast boats. It's all they have left. And he's talking about the Mosquito fleet right there. Then breaking news this morning, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Kane gave a press briefing on Operation Project Freedom and whether the hostilities will kick back off at full scale. Here are some of the highlights of what they said. After the ceasefire was announced, Iran has fired at commercial ships 9 times, and they've tried to attack U.S. forces more than 10 times. 2,000 plus mariners were trapped in 1,000 plus ships, basically trapped and held hostage.
Is he the top guy? I hear about General Kane a lot. Is he the top of the top guy? Top of the military? Because general title is like given to many people because they can be general in their own field, but there is also like top general, right? Like who was that general in World War II, which was not much liked, but he was the guy who had the whole military in his hand, who was below president, obviously. Is this the guy who's the general of the entire military?
By the IRGC, and now that's starting to move. So Operation Project Freedom, basically a humanitarian mission to free these ships and get these mariners out of there. Yesterday, as of the time of this video being made, Iran attacked Oman once and UAE 3 times. But then those MH-60s and the AH-64s had a little bit to say about that. Operation Project Freedom, quick summary, 100...
Somebody told me that Iran is in good terms with Oman. Then why did they attack him? I'm guessing not much of a good term.
Fighters synchronized by the 82nd Airborne Division. Commercial vessels will feel U.S. combat power around them, protecting them. 2 U.S. commercial ships have made it through the strait so far at the time of that press conference happening on May 5th. And then apparently there's reports of kamikaze dolphins. So where are these kamikaze dolphins? What do they do? And how do we get a ride on one? I'll be breaking that down throughout this video as well. But seriously, someone actually asked that question at the press conference. They asked,
I mean, Russians are known to do that, right? Like they weaponized dolphins one, or was it orcas? I don't know. Do you need to weaponize orcas, or do they do that willingly? I don't know. But I don't know about this. Like, can you do this? I don't know.
the story with the kamikaze dolphins? If we have kamikaze dolphins, I feel like we should just fully unleash those on the Mosquito fleet of Iran. Can you imagine that? Their next Mosquito fleet venture, they're all going out, yeah, let's go with our AK-47s, and all of a sudden, 50 kamikaze dolphins just...
America's not going to have kamikaze dolphins because half of the country will be on the street. That dolphins are dying, obviously.
But even if we don't have kamikaze dolphins, we've got something close, and that is the AH-64 Apache helicopter from the U.S. Army out there doing work, striking down these fast attack craft. Why are they doing this, though? Well, there's ships from 87 countries that have been stranded or harassed since Iran's de facto blockade began weeks earlier. CENTCOM deployed a serious package for day one, and this is just day one, which started yesterday. 2 Arleigh-Burke-class destroyers, Truxtun and Mason, were the surface vessels spearheads. Above them, a layered air cover umbrella centered around the Army's AH-64 Apache attack helicopter and the Navy MH-60 Seahawks, plus over 100 fighters and advanced drones that are committed to this operation as well. Iran's response was immediate, multi-layered, and proxy-oriented. As we know, that's what they have left at this point. They launched missiles, some surface-based cruise missiles that were anti-ship missiles that were also struck down, drones.
Ooh, so they did launch that. They did launch the Chinese one, and they were just intercepted. Oh, I thought it was so powerful that it will sink. What's it called? I forgot the name of it. Ooh, I remember when they said it, like every news channel around the world. Ooh, this is like Chinese supercarrier killer missile. Yeah, sure, it's that easy, sure.
Unleash those fast attack mosquito swarms in the southern end of the Strait of Hormuz. In the maritime harassment playbook, this is called swarming, with multiple small, fast, agile boats attacking simultaneously from different angles, trying to overwhelm a larger vessel's defenses, fire at close range, and retreat before a response can be mounted. Basically, harassing like a swarm of mosquitoes would. This is a tactic that Iran has rehearsed extensively, and it's their go-to. And here's the big thing. It didn't work, and they could only bring 6 of these boats. This is something that we practiced against as...
Throw combobulator on them, right? It's like a shoot it there, like they start to vomit and all that thing, the Venezuela thing. I'm sure it is like some kind of a wave device that has a big range. Doesn't matter, the swarm just pointed that direction, there you go. Yeah.
fighter pilots over the years of preparing for the Iran conflict, going out, practicing strafing boats. So picture this, you're in an F-35 deep in enemy territory in a dogfight, 20,000 feet, pulling 9 Gs, but your wingman's got that, oh, well, we'll just see what happens attitude. But one wrong call, and you're a smoking hole in the ground.
Yeah, Paul, go to original video page and from there, support this channel. Sudden light change. I'm like, what just happened? Yeah, it's ad. Shot at different time.
Even when we were deploying to Afghanistan, we did this exact workup preparing for these boat swarms just in case they needed to deflect us towards Iran. But the Apache and Seahawk crews were already pre-positioned for exactly this threat. They knew it was coming. The helicopters engaged the fast attack boats directly. 6 boats attacked, 6 boats sunk. CENTCOM confirmed the engagement. Every Iranian missile and drone directed at the U.S. destroyer was also intercepted. The Truxtun and the Mason completed their transit. 2 American-flagged merchant vessels have made it through the strait successfully as well. But Iran state media, specifically Fars news agency, which is linked to the IRGC, a megaphone for the IRGC, claimed a U.S. warship was struck by 2 missiles and forced to retreat from near the port of Jask. U.S. Central Command's official response, not on our watch, didn't happen. So the U.S. military confirmed that it sank 6 fast attack boats that were targeting civilian shipping. Their goal was to target the civilian shipping, and the U.S. Navy.
You know what? Here's what anyone says like, okay, maybe US is lying. Oh, I believe it. It's current warfare. Of course, US is lying. One day we'll realize like how many US ships got struck. Okay, you know what? I believe you. Let's just say US is doing that. Anyone would do that. It's warfare. Wouldn't it be better to tell people that Iranians harmed one of your ships and hurt one of your people, multiple of your people? Wouldn't that piss off Americans more? It just helps the cause. But Trump can just amp up the heat. Right now, people are like, why are you doing this war? What about the innocents? And as soon as you realize, hey, Iranians are hurting American militarymen, that is one of the easiest cause to like stand behind. Wouldn't that be better? So if you're saying like they are hiding, why would they hide? It's not like if you destroying some US boats mean anything. Great, you destroyed some of them. They have hundreds more. It's American Navy. What are you talking about? Just because you destroy some of them will not matter. So they don't have to hide, right? They can just say out and say like, okay, look at people. Look what Iranian killed one of our people. Iranians damage our ships. That would actually piss off people in mainland. Wouldn't that be better? So the logic doesn't work here. Of course, Aegis system stopped it. And if it didn't, they would say it. Somebody would have caught it. Like someone else would have, like some other organization would have leaked from somewhere and like, yeah, US ships got shot and yeah, did this happen? They would have said it. Recently, I remember a year or 2 ago, F-35 nearly got destroyed by a missile. The news immediately broke out. They didn't try to hide it. So US doesn't have a history of hiding things. They'll just openly say, oh, this thing sucks. Oh, this thing nearly got hit. Like LCS, that thing sucks. They openly say they didn't try to hide it. Literal ship didn't work, so we're scrapping it. US doesn't have a history of hiding things, man.
And the U.S. Army stepped in to say, not on our watch. The UAE, a key American partner, reported Iranian missile and drone strikes on Faraja oil facility just beyond the Strait of Hormuz, with Emirati air defenses engaging 15 missiles and 4 drones. 1 drone got through and sparked the fire, wounding 3 Indian nationals. President Trump, in some not so uncertain words, said that any further Iranian interference could result in the regime being, quote, blown off the face of the earth. His post also acknowledged the tensions with ongoing diplomatic efforts, noting the operation was merely meant to free up people, companies, and...
By the way, the Operation Freedom is paused right now. I'm pretty sure I got the breaking news very recently that it's paused because of these attacks. That is kind of grim, implying the US like, you know what, hold that mission for now, we are doing something. We might hear something soon, is all I'm saying.
Countries that have done absolutely nothing wrong. The day ended with ships moving, U.S. hulls intact, and 6 fewer boats in Iran's Mosquito fleet. And those weren't just any boats, though. Those are the backbone of a very specific kind of warfare that Iran has spent decades perfecting, and it's the only thing they have left. In the next section, we're going to pull that threat apart, and then I'll give you the 3 numbers that put the whole thing in brutal context. So Iran's Mosquito fleet, it isn't a joke, right? So we can be clear about that at the beginning. You never want to underestimate the threat. And Iran's small small boat doctrine is a genuinely serious asymmetric capability that US planners have wargamed for decades. The fast attack craft used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy, the naval arm of the elite supposed Revolutionary Guard, are purpose-built for harassment just like this, hit-and-run strikes in confined
Those boats are definitely warships and not yachts for people to chill in. It's definitely for war.
shallow, geographically complex waters. That's what they do. They also have tactics where they load these things out with explosives and they turn them into unmanned boats where they could actually do kamikaze-style strikes. But the US has a special weapon to counter this, the kamikaze dolphin. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually the AH-64 Apache and the MH-60 attack helicopter. Those speedboats, they have rocket pods, anti-ship missiles potentially, even heavy machine guns, even though General Kane just reported at the press conference this morning that they just had small arms on these specific fast attack boats. But they could have that suicide charge where they go in and try to strike a Navy or a commercial vessel. Some of these are even capable of getting up to 50 plus knots, and they operate in coordinated swarms specifically designed to overwhelm defenses on larger warships.
I like how Iran's like, we have kamikaze dolphins. What you gonna do now? And US just look at like press button from Apache and blows everything up, blood everywhere. What do you think was gonna happen? I mean, seriously.
But here's the number you need to know first, 20%. That's the approximate share of global trade oil that transits the Strait of Hormuz. Every day, the strait effectively stays closed or contested. The global energy markets absorb that pressure. US gas prices have obviously gone up. This is a short-term pain for a long-term gain to root out the extortion that Iran has done to the world by controlling the Strait of Hormuz and what they think is just the way things are done. But the US military is stepping in and saying, your extortion is over. And the number 2 is 87. That's the number of countries with vessels stranded due to Iran's blockade per US officials. Project Freedom wasn't just an American operation. It was a response to a request from dozens of nations caught up in this maritime vice from the IRGC. Iran has been effectively holding global shipping hostage, and the diplomatic weight of that number matters. Number 3, 6 out of 6. Iran sent fast attack boats, 0 returned. CENTCOM's intercept rate on day 1 was 100% across boats, missiles, and drones. For a doctrine built on swarming and overwhelming defenses, Iran sent a partial swarm and watched it disappear and vanish in minutes. That's not just a tactical loss. It's a data point Tehran can't ignore about what a full US response would look like. Tehran's officials insist they are just getting started. IRGC-linked voices are vowing strategic deterrence. But when you look at the scoreboard, you can see 6 or 7 of these boats are now at the bottom of the ocean. So
If you faintly hear, you can hear them screaming from the small boat when those giant tracker bullets are chasing them.
Iran's parliament called for stronger strategic deterrence. Apparently, their current deterrence strategy involved 6 boats that are now providing strategic deterrence for fish. So what exactly were the American platforms that made that possible, and why are they so uniquely lethal against this specific threat? Strap in, because we're going to do a deep dive on the hardware. And that's the 2 platforms that did the heavy lifting in the boat engagements that we just saw. The AH-64 Apache, this is the US Army's primary attack helicopter, and it has been the gold standard in rotary wing combat aviation since it first deployed in 1986. The current frontline variant, the AH-64E Guardian, is a significant leap over earlier models. Its primary weapon for the Hormuz engagement was almost certainly the 30mm M230 chain gun mounted under the forward fuselage and slaved directly to the gunner's helmet via the integrated helmet and display sighting system. That means wherever the gunner looks, the gun points. Against a fast boat moving at close range, that's decisive. The M230 fires at approximately 625 rounds per minute. For a fiberglass hold fast attack craft, a short burst is a mission kill right away. Beyond the gun though, the AH-64 carries up to 16 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles on 4 stub wing hardpoints, laser guided with a range out to multiple miles, also up to 76 Hydra 2.
See, the Hellfire thing is so scary because how fast it shoots one after another like a Gatling gun, but it's a missile. That's the most scary part of this helicopter. I still remember the Venezuela clip during Maduro thing where it's just like one after another just spamming Hellfire.
2.7-inch rockets for area suppression. That's right, 2.7 inches gets the job done when it comes to the Apache. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. And then the MH-60S Seahawk, that's the Navy's dedicated anti-surface warfare and combat support platform. The MH-60 can carry AGM-114 Hellfire anti-surface missiles and crew-served machine guns on its weapon stations. It's designed specifically for this kind of mission, prosecuting surface targets from a ship-based platform. Two GE T700 turboshaft engines give it a max airspeed of about 180 knots, service ceiling of about 13,000 feet, with full day-night sensor suite capability, combat radius that can cover basically the entire strait with ease. Here's a critical operational point though. Iran's Mosquito fleet doctrine was designed against destroyers and frigates, large, relatively slow surface combatants that can't easily maneuver in the shallow, island-dotted waters of the southern strait. Fast boats rely on that geometry, but helicopters eliminate that advantage entirely, especially the Seahawk and the Apache. And that moves us to the strategic analysis 4D chess section, because what happened in the strait yesterday was about a lot more than the 6 boats. The Trump administration launched Project Freedom in a very specific diplomatic context, showing the Iranian regime that now they have no cards left when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, your little cruise missiles along the coast, cute. Those are gone. Oh, your fast attack mosquito swarms, those are gone. Oh, you're launching on your Gulf partners again. Well, pretty much all of that got taken down except for one, showing Tehran that basically their evil empire is starting to crumble and their ability to threaten the world and the days of them using the Strait of Hormuz as their last domino is coming to an end. And that is the biggest negotiating position that they had. Pretty much all they had. So once this freedom of navigation is ensured, we'll probably see a few more of these fast attack craft popped off. Once that continues for a while, Iran will likely see the writing on the wall. Does that cause internal regime fracture from within? Does it bring them to the table with a deal that actually makes sense? We'll see how this all plays out. What do you think happens in this strategic 4D chess game? Would love to hear what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments below. Go and follow me on X, follow me on
Look, as far as Strait of Hormuz goes, US will control it because it's not going to be that hard for USA. Beyond that, I don't know what happens, man. I genuinely don't. US had the upper hand, then US gave a month off. Now the strikes are beginning, so you're going to do the same thing you did last time and attack ground things. Did Iran recover? Did Iran procure some Chinese, Russian things or something? I don't know. Maybe more intel. I don't know. I don't know what happens now. Are you going to do the same thing you did before, that you attack certain targets? Or do you change the tactic and put troops on the ground because Marines are there? Maybe you go after the uranium itself. Find intel, which US can do. That's like an Oscar movie waiting to happen. US can get that intel and storm the area, guns blazing, somehow take the uranium and leave. So Iran doesn't have uranium to make nuclear bombs. I don't know. Did Iran gather all the uranium in one place or is scattered around? Again, I don't know. I don't know what happens, right? But it's going to be interesting, right? All right, well, there you go. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.